If you're all ready, you know, to get into a little bit more of a combat mode, we got another new game we can talk about. But you know, I want to ask you if you had any final thoughts for Multiverses first.
No, I mean, like, you know, we got to see how they're gonna pan out, like how they're gonna put in characters. But I would wager that we see like a second Batman or something before you see like a character you truly love from like those universes, stuff like that. But you know,
yeah. What I do know is that the fighting game community is going to love it. They're going to gravitate to it. They're going to have a lot of fun. They're going to do a lot of tournaments around it. So we'll see a lot of community presence with this game. Who knows if the money's going to follow the sponsorships, if the big name players are going to start playing. But at the very least, they're going to, you know, do some casuals and have some fun with it for sure. You know, there's going to be some side bets at Evo with this one.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty, that'll be probably be like the most fun about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would be the side bets.
Yeah. TBD if it's going to be at Kumite and whatnot, but we've got another game to talk about, so let's get rolling into it. I'm going to bring us over into XDefiant, the alleged Call of Duty killer, and just right to the website here. Let me make sure we're on the right. Yeah, we are. Cool. So this is the new game that's coming out from Ubisoft. First and foremost, Ubisoft kind of makes me hold my breath on it, but I know a lot of people love Rainbow Six Siege as a shooter, the tactical aspect of it. With this one, this is supposed to be their answer to a Call of Duty. Free-to-play first-person arena shooter where you can compete to be the best in the fast-paced online matches. So yeah, really heavy into competitive aspect of it. You know, there's a lot of things we could talk about with it, but there's only like two that matter. First and foremost, let me go over to the factions. I believe there's 5 factions you launch with, and then the first battle pass will have a faction. And I think allegedly that faction might be a little bit busted, but that's pretty normal per case. What are you seeing here with the factions, Nick? Is it just some like playful words?
Far Cry, Call of Duty, Splinter Cell. Right?
Okay.
I don't know about the other two, but like Saints Row on the end.
Apex and Saints Row?
Like Apex and Saints Row. Apex was in my head for that other one because he looks like Caustic, but like that's literally models stolen from other games is what it looks like. It looks like Far Cry, Call of Duty, Splinter Cell, Apex, Saints Row.
Far Cry, Call of Duty, Splinter Cell, Apex, Cyberpunk?
Yeah, you could do Cyberpunk. You can even do Dead Island for the first one.
Mm.
Yeah,
that's a throwback.
But that's but these two that's Call of Duty and Splinter Cell. If I've ever seen that shit, that is 100% a ripoff. That is a Sam. Look at that night vision. Those are Sam's goggles. Okay.
Absolutely. But get that.
That's
what
I was.
Those are Tom Clancy games, right? Those are Tom Clancy games.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That, actually, you know what? That is more of a Ghost Recon. The Phantom one is more of a Ghost Recon skin.
It's a Ghost Recon, yeah. You know, so, okay, that was your initial impression. That's got me asking the question, is it on purpose? Do they want you to do that? Are they just biting to just like launch, draw, pull people? Or is it just like hitting stereotypes that people know? Was it even a developer conscious decision? Probably, almost definitely.
Yeah, right? It's not AI generated art. This has actually happened. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they could have that, but I mean, Splinter Cell is people are passionate about Splinter Cell for sure.
Yeah, let's take a little look here at what each of the factions kind of are and do. It seems to be Caribbean revolutionaries as the faction, and you get the faction you pick derives your abilities you get to in game. So it's kind of like what's up?
That is 100% Far Cry 6 or something. But go ahead, let's do it.
Yeah, man. No. I don't think I have anything else other than that. I don't want to dwell too much, but it seems like the choice of your faction is a choice of your class in the game, of your ability, etc. So here are the Phantoms. They get Aegis, which looks like a spherical shield. Hardened health, so they're tailored gene therapies. Backstory, but it seems like they're going to be harder to kill. They'll have some like resistance, mag barrier, electric magnet barrier, and then blitz shield. So this feels more like what's that?
It's like turtling in like Call of Duty and like all that. Like they seem like the turtlers because they'll have like the like the riot. It seems, you know, they have like riot shields.
Hey, Billy here. Wanted to take a quick minute to let you know a few different things. If you enjoyed the video so far, please consider like and subscribing. It really helps us out and it tells the algorithm to share it with more people. You can find the Esports Meta live every week on Twitch and YouTube. It's where we film the podcast or hang out, play games, and chat. If social media is more your vibe, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or Twitter if you use Threads. Does anybody use Threads? This is a video game community that's excited to talk about esports, so jump into the conversation. Of course, you can find more videos like this here on YouTube. Just hit that subscribe button right there or there. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to the show.
You know, barrier
Right,
stuff. So they're
It
just
definitely seems like the heavier armored, stronger, slower. I want to also know if maybe it's more like an Apex Call of Duty where you find weapons on the ground, like a war zone, right? Like a battle royale where you're just going to pick up different weapons. I'd imagine that these guys get equipped with more of a shotgun, sort of mid-range, sort of tactical weapon. But you know,
you got an M16 picture.
What was that? Sorry, I keep cutting out.
That's an M16 or an M4.
Yeah.
Picture, so
probably definitely assault rifle vibe. Definitely AR vibe on that. And then you have stealth, maybe some more long scope, medium scope stuff. But digital ghillie suit renders the agent nearly invisible. Sonar goggles, passive trait, low profile. They don't come up on radar. And intel suit shares location. So like, yeah, they seem to be the information class, the tactical class. Cleaners, what do cleaners do? These former NYC sanitation workers solve all their problems with one tool: fire. Flamethrowers, SMGs, it looks like, firebomb, Molotovs, fire drone, and then incendiary rounds. So
like what? Mobile flamethrower, like remote controlled mobile flamethrower.
We'll see how that goes. It seems interesting, but like that's also I'm not sure how I feel about like it. Maybe the factions don't matter. They're just calling it something different where these are just classes. And these almost seem like the hacker class. Yeah, lockout, disable HUD. After device is deployed, you print a new one. Spider bot targets and stuns with a face hug, and then hack deployed abilities. So yeah, this is your Sombras. This is your hacker class.
They're definitely on purpose, right?
For sure.
Like the art is definitely on purpose, but it definitely looks like a well disguised hero shooter. I guess we'll call it like it's a well disguised hero shooter, depending on how it like works and stuff like that.
Right. With another battle pass model, that we're not getting away from those anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And I'm not against those for sure. Like it's just certain companies go We've had that conversation before. Certain companies go more predatory than others. Certain companies really push the FOMO and really push the price points on it. Hopefully this one finds a good balance. They're going to need to if they're going to sort of usurp Call of Duty, if that's their aim. I'm not sure why Ubisoft would get into another shooter when they have like a Rainbow Six Siege, and generally these companies would just continue an IP like that. Would you have any sort of like suspicions or assumptions to maybe why they're jumping into this sort of style of arena shooter, non-arena shooter, Call of Duty game?
So Rainbow Six has been doing fine. Like over the longevity of his like life, like new players come in, the operators are well designed half the time, because there's obvious misses when it comes to like devs and stuff like that. The game overall is fun and has maintained and if not increased their player base over the last bunch of years, right? And it just seems like they're branching out into like, as everybody's branching out, the hero shooters. It just like it's a hero shooter to me is what it looks like. So, and everybody's got one.
Yeah, you know, maybe that's it. Maybe they're just diversifying their repertoire, just to get their foot in the door here. Maybe they can chip away. Maybe a lot of this was they saw the alleged weakness of Overwatch, Blizzard, Activision, in around 2020, 2022, of 2 years of nothing, and they decided to put their throw their hat into the ring, put their hand on the controller, and start to give this a shot. Because it is interesting. We're seeing this come out this week really swiftly. I hadn't heard anything about this game except for that it launched last week. Servers were overrun because of popularity, and then a lot of people, air quotes with that one, said that this was the Call of Duty killer. So we have this game. We have Deadlock, the Valve Overwatch hero shooter. We've got Marvel Rivals, another arena shooter coming out. It's an interesting time that we see this, let alone stuff like Nyan Cats, like we were reviewing last week.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot, and I just don't know what. Like, I don't know where it's coming from, really. Like, it seems very. I don't want to say like outdated or antiquated, but it's definitely seeming like it's just a little late. I mean, not to say that like the games are going to do bad or anything, but like the hero shooter craze, I'm not sure if it could like pick up again like that.
Well, I don't know if it ever really sort of left. I think people have a bad taste in their mouth, but this is where we are. And like, pending in when these companies made these decisions, was it back in 2016, 8 years ago? Did it take that long to develop this game? Who knows? Was it 4 years ago in 2020? I think I have a fan club screaming in the background, by the way, distracting me a little bit. But in that sort of sense, did they make these decisions 4 years ago when they saw a perceived weakness with Overwatch and Blizzard that they could jump in and steal the market because they saw? Did they think they could sell a game that did it better, just in general? Possibly. I would think it's more of the latter, 4 years ago of a development, not a 10-year ago development when like Overwatch won Game of the Year as the first FPS to win Game of the Year kind of thing. But any final thoughts?
So like final thoughts would be like, dude, it's really hard to beat Blizzard when they put out a decent game. Like in general, like being a World of Warcraft player in general, like I find it, I try every single MMO that comes out. Good luck, everybody. Like, what are you fixing? Like they have a great engine, the game's smooth, like the combat's fine. This can also be described Overwatch. Like
that polish, for sure.
That polish that they have, right? And like you're just gonna go to another game and like, well, let's see how long, like, let's give it a little bit. And then like you're gonna be sitting in a dead game like I was with MXM, but like I won't even talk about that game. I love that game.
Too bad. You already did, man. You already did. I don't think a lot of people are going to know that game, but I'm with you on that. And I think we're seeing that a little bit right now. You have some people who just want to hate on Overwatch, who were like, oh man, this is the Overwatch killer with Marvel Rivals. As soon as they got into the alpha, as soon as the testing was over. But you're seeing a lot more people now come back down and go, Overwatch isn't bad. It's a good game. Obviously it has its flaws, it's got its things, but like it maybe it's not as far gone as we've already made it out to be, because that's also the hype beast of things. And I lied, that wasn't final thoughts. I did forget to talk about one other thing about that's really important with XDefiant that's going to be a notable but I just want to give you a second if you wanted to respond to that aspect of it, of Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, or people just going after a game because they love it so much, they want it to do better, and then it's not hitting the mark where they feel it should, and then they see another game try to do it and just not do it well.
It's just like, I say this all the time, like, what's the new game that's exactly like the old one gonna fix? What is it gonna do? What's it gonna fix for you? Like, if you think that Blizzard tries to take your money with skins, like, for the love of God, have you never heard of Disney as a corporation just in general? They want all your fucking money. Like, they want all of your money.
Guess what? Guess what? Marvel Rivals is also run by NetEase. So yeah, Nick, you're a man of very few words and like very precise words when it comes to that. To get your point across, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I would love for these games to take off, but
yeah,
I just don't see how it's going to pull people away from Overwatch in general. besides like, characters. Like it would have to be like the Marvel rivals could do it if it was exactly Overwatch, but with Marvel characters. And like you'd have like, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, which, what it was a lot of what people sold it as in their heads. They imagined it being. It wasn't exactly that on the playthrough, and it is an alpha. There's still hope that it becomes that, but even just like something small, like the niche gimmick of destructible environments, it became annoying really fast, and people frustrated it. They might be a lot of fun, absolutely a lot of fun, but then also really fucking annoying. So what is it doing better? You're right.
On Red Faction, man. Red Faction was was legitimately a fun game with like destruction, but the problem is that like not everybody's the same, right? So that destruction on the map is not playable forever for anybody for the most part, because if you try to use it in a unique way, someone else might just end up ruining the whole entire plan because their AoE is higher or something like that, or like more powerful or something, right? Like it's just, it's just a weird gimmick, a weird, cool gimmick. It's like, cool, we destroyed the billboard.
Right, and that's one of the criticisms of Marvel Rivals. I know we were talking about XDefiant here, but Marvel Rivals, one of the big criticisms was that a lot of the ults, the ultimate moves of each hero, they're big bombs, they're big explosions. So like, yeah, here's this carefully laid out plan, and then boom, Scarlet Witch just blows everything up. Anyway, yeah. The other important thing I want to just touch on with XDefiant, just sort of forcefully move the conversation a little bit too, and didn't get to talk about briefly, I forgot about it, is the MMR system. The two main points about XDefiant is going to be the factions, which apparently the factions seem more like classes, the abilities you get to roll out with, etc. So it's another arena shooter-esque, but they're calling it something different, trying to at least. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job at that, but then the bigger thing is that apparently there's not going to be any MMR, some matchmaking ranking in the behind the scenes in anything other than in comp. So in comp, you're going to get your skill ranking, you're going to skill up, you'll become gold, plat, whatever you are, you casual gamer, you're going to get to that, and you're going to play other people in competitive. But the second you go to an arcade mode or a quick play or a casual mode, no MMR. Right off the bat, Nick, tell me your thoughts. Tell me, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Tell me that I'm the prettiest boy in school. No.
You're not.
Shucks.
Let's go to the next. That's always bad, right? Like it's just always bad. It's going to lead for bad experiences, just in general. Like you'd have to pull in a really huge player base for that not to create like really bad player experiences on a regular basis. There's situations like in other games that have MMR rankings. If you play the quick play or anything like that and you just win a little bit too much, you are getting sent to a pub stop. Like that's literally what happens. You're getting sent to a pub stop. And like, this just means that a pub stop is just a little bit more likely, even if you're losing. Like that's kind of crazy to think about, right? Like you're just like, yeah, am I safe this game? Am I going to win it? Like I played so well. And then, oh man, there's that guy who's like way better. But you never know. Like I think like it'll probably be a lot more random. Like all the abilities are probably pick upable, and they're probably going to be tiered out with color quality, like Plunderstorm, where it's like, common, epic, rare, whatever, mythic. Like that's probably like what happens with all that stuff. You probably keep your weapons. You probably get to choose your weapon for your class. Like they can only use certain weapons. Okay. And then like your abilities probably upgrade while you're playing the game, like in the matches.
That'd be cool. I love Star Wars Battlefront, the OG one, because you could level up with the shotgun, and that shotgun, you became better at it, and it provided a little bit more functionality, a little more utility when you use that weapon after using it for so long. This is a game that's already out there, free to play, so we could go try it out. It might be something we do this week, stream it a little bit. Make sure you follow us on Twitch or YouTube here to see that, and just come hang out while we play some games. Little call to action, little shilling there, but But yeah, I agree with you as far as the ranks go. It's going to be a game of extremes if you're not playing ranked mode. And maybe this is going to push people from a ladder anxiety into ladder because it's going to be the more qualitative experience. Outside of ranked mode, competitive mode, my guess would be either they have a secret MMR that they don't tell you happens, or you're going to get one of two matches and they're both going to be extremes. One extreme where you stomp everybody and you're just a god, you're the server admin deleting people, / you're on a team with somebody who's doing that, or you get on a team that doesn't know what they're doing, can't coordinate, and they're just dying immediately at a spawn. I don't think there's going to be any in between on this. This is going to be a game of extremes. If that's my assumption coming into this. Excuse me.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. Like, especially in like the non-ranked ones, but like it's really hard for people to get over ladder anxiety. Like, I have a good friend who has played games in like certain games just as long as I have, and I can't even express to you how much like he's just like, oh dude, it's so stressful and ranked. And it's like, for me it's not. It literally just like, that's like normal queue. Just go into it. It's the best way to like experience the game in a lot of games. But like a lot of people just don't feel that way. They feel way more stress when they're playing the game, when there's like something to lose, like in general. So
invisible currencies, man, it works, and it really does have an impact. As somebody who does struggle with a little bit of ladder anxiety sometimes, where you find something valuable, I get that. It's tough to overcome that and just, you know, not be seen as a loser or whatnot. But you're not the quality of your game. You're just playing. You know, you can have a good game, you can have a bad game. That's quite all right. Maybe that's something, you know, you struggle with. Let us know in the comments, or just make a mention here. It's something we do talk about every so often, and something we try to help. But like overall, video games are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be relaxing. Maybe not always relaxing. I definitely do play Overwatch some nights to get all riled up and just like, let's fucking go, boys, kind of thing. I've played some other games that do that too, and like that's just what it is. But XDefiant, I'm not sure. We'll give it a shot. We'll lock in, grab the headsets, and see what we're doing. Maybe we'll be little savants with this, Nick. Come out on top of the MMR-less quick play.
I just downloaded it just so I could check it out.